Y'all having a good time tonight? Everybody doing all right? Thank you for coming out on this Wednesday evening. I really do appreciate it, and appreciate all my musician friends coming out tonight and supporting me and playing some great music. And at some of these political events over the summer, I was asked to sing the Star Spangled Banner, and I'm so glad I didn't do that tonight. I'd have been so embarrassed because they did such a great job. But one of the things I did want to mention tonight is the fact, I'm the Democratic nominee, right? And there's probably a few Democrats in here, a few, but there are also a few Republicans in here. Yeah. And there are also a few independents in here. And let me tell you, if I had to rely entirely on the Democrats, I would lose. Right? Because we're really not that, our percentage is kind of low in the overall population of East Tennessee. And somebody was asking me earlier how much it was, and I'd heard the number I've heard is 35% are registered Democrats, right? Now don't get sad, because, that might be the case, but Phil Bredesen, a Democrat governor, carried this region in the last election, right? And so it can definitely happen if you get the right Democrat in there to run, And I'm not trying to toot my own whistle, but I hope that I am the right Democrat to run. I really do hope so, and I do appreciate y'all coming out. And I'm gonna introduce this fellow right here. This guy right here is Gary Hensley. And he's a great singer-songwriter, and he invited me to come and speak to his American government and American history classes and the Student Government Association. And there were a lot of students. There were over 100 students there, weren't there? No, there's probably close to 200. Yeah, there was a lot of students there. We were in the auditorium there at Volunteer High School in Church Hill. Church Hill in the house. Okay. But Volunteer High School there in Church Hill.
I thought I was the only Democrat in Church Hill.
You still are. Anyway, I'm just kidding. No. These are a couple of Democrats from Church Hill, but the rest of them, yeah. We're suspect, by association, guilt by association. But, I went there and spoke to these students, and, I got up and I sort of said my piece as to where I was coming from and why I did this and what I was hoping we could gain for East Tennessee. And then afterwards, they asked me questions. And they asked me some of the most astute questions. I had just come from the candidate, because I'm a teacher, yeah. Or because of their teacher, yeah, you prompted them, right? I had just come from a candidate forum down in Greenville. And we had been asked some of the most inane questions I'd ever heard, and we all had to answer the questions, and they were really kind of silly and beside the point. But the students asked great questions. They asked questions like, why do you think you're qualified to be our congressman? And they said it in a way that didn't sound like that. It didn't sound facetious. But anyway, and they really wanted to know, why do you think you should be our congressman? And they asked me, what are you going to do to make sure that, we have jobs when we get out of high school? And what are you going to do to improve our education here in East Tennessee? And they asked, really good questions that I tried to answer as best I could, and I think I answered it to most of their satisfactions. I hope. I changed a lot of minds. That's good, And maybe they some of them can vote this time, but a lot of them be able to vote next time. And but I think a lot of that of having that large group of high school students, and you can imagine. The thought of speaking in front of a large group of high school students is, I teach college, and speaking in front of a large group of high school students is scary. It really, really is. So it's a testimonial to this man right here that he is such a good teacher, or he strikes fear into them so deeply.
I don't think so.
That they behave in such a great way. So I'm going to turn it over now to Gary Hensley and his friend and Chris over here.